Om Shanti. Today I truly wish you all a very joyous, wonderful and deeply heartfelt Dussehra celebration to you and your loved ones. Ego destroys all three: wealth, prosperity and lineage. If you don't believe it, just look at Ravan, the Kauravas and Kans. For the past 9 days, we have been invoking divinity, calling forth the divine and our inner powers. We are practicing a sattvic lifestyle, a new way of thinking, a new way of living, awakening ourselves. These are not just for 9 days, but are meant to be our way of life. These 9 days are simply a reminder, a warning, like an alarm. Even an alarm has 3 options. When it rings once, some of us get up immediately. When it rings the second time, we turn it off ourselves. And the third option is that maybe we don't even need the alarm anymore. So all these festivals are also like an alarm, a warning. It means for 8 days we invoke the goddesses. So the alarm rang. Change your life, change the way you live, wake up from the sleep of ignorance, adopt purity in your life. Now there are 2 options for the alarm. Are we just turning off the alarm after hearing its tune, or are we actually waking up from the sleep of ignorance? Then perhaps we won't even need the alarm every year, because now we are already awake. When our life is pure and virtuous, not just for 9 days, but when it becomes our way of living, only then does the end of Ravana happen. That's why Dussehra comes after the 9 days. The arrival of Dussehra means the end of Ravana. Today, all over the world, effigies of Ravana are burned in every corner. Just think, if we have already burned Ravana once, then why do we need to burn him again and again? Not only that, but each year we make the effigy a little bigger than the previous years. What does this symbolize? The weaknesses within us, the negativity, the weaknesses, the vices, they too keep increasing every year. And this is what Dussehra represents. We don't call it the killing of Ravana, we call it Dussehra, which means cutting off the 10 heads. So the 10 vices of the soul also need to be cut off. The 10 vices: lust, anger, attachment, ego, jealousy, hatred, deceit, stubbornness, laziness. These 10 vices are like our 10 heads. We have to eliminate these 10 heads. Only when we invoke divinity, when we invoke our inner power, will these 10 heads be destroyed. This is the true symbol of Dussehra. Now, what is shown is that if you cut off one of Ravana's heads, after a while, another head appears in its place. What does this teach us? That if we want to work on our vices, their root cause is body consciousness. So the real root is this body consciousness. That is why the arrow was shot at Ravana's navel, meaning his core, and only then did all his 10 heads fall and Ravana was destroyed. So we too should not try to eliminate our weaknesses like fear, jealousy, stubbornness or anger one by one. There are so many of them that just looking at them makes us feel afraid. How will we ever get rid of so many vices? So we shouldn't try to tackle all these vices individually either. We need to replace body consciousness with soul consciousness. That is why we need to engage in daily spiritual study and meditation. I am a pure soul, a child of the Supreme Soul. This will help us greatly and will also increase our inner strength. Then all the vices will automatically be eliminated. You will experience that all your weaknesses have now disappeared. So this is a good message to implement in our lives as a learning. What do we show? That Sita used to live in Panchvati. Panchvati means this body made of the 5 elements. And then she used to remember Ram. It means I, the soul, am Sita, and I reside in this body made of 5 elements. I remember my Supreme Soul, Ram. The purpose of our life, the purpose of living was absolutely clear. We had to stay within the Laxman Rekha, the boundary drawn by Laxman. It means Laxman, our purpose of life, our goal for living was absolutely clear. We had the Laxman Rekha. We lived a life of dignity and discipline. That Laxman Rekha was drawn all around us. So as long as Sita stayed within those lines of discipline, held on to the purpose of life and upheld values and boundaries, every Sita was safe. But then Ravana changed his form and came as a golden deer. Because of this, his five-headed wickedness was not visible. Attracted by it, Sita crossed her line of discipline. If Sita had stayed within her line, no matter how powerful Ravana was, he could never have captured her. So it is also important for us to understand this in our lives as a vow. All boundaries, whether of families, ways of living, home, family, country, or the soul, are our protection. As long as we stay within these boundaries, within this protection, Ravana will always remain outside our lives and will never be able to catch us. Ravana cannot enter within the line of our boundaries, but we can cross our own boundaries and reach Ravana. But that Ravana is not appearing before us in the form of those five heads. Every form of his is appearing only as an attraction. Today, if we look at our own destruction, it's in what we are listening to, what we are reading, what we are watching, or what we are telling others. Even if we are earning money, we are doing it to bring others down in competition because Ravana is appearing to us in a beautiful form. There are so many attractions in it that we even abandon our own boundaries and step outside. When we do this, that's when Ravana captures Sita. This means that vices enter our soul only when we abandon the boundaries of our life's purpose and goals. Then Sita calls out to Ram. We too, when troubled by vices, keep calling out to God. We remember and say, "Oh God, come and free me from these pains, sorrows, and weaknesses." At that time, Ram, that is God, comes and gives Sita the knowledge to conquer the five vices. The incorporeal Supreme Soul descends upon this world during the darkness of Kali Yuga, the age of deep ignorance. We are all souls, all Sitas. Here, it is about the soul, not about being male or female. That is why all of us now need to connect with Lord Ram, because except for him, no one can free us from the prison of Ravan. So God, in his mercy, comes and frees all of us Sitas from Ravan's prison by giving us knowledge, love, and filling us with strength. From today, we will make this vow. Through the practice of these 9 days, we will shape the way we live our lives. We will wear the crown of purity and victory over vices. We are now awakened. By adopting purity, knowledge, and the practice of yoga, when we connect with the Supreme Soul, our purpose in life becomes absolutely clear. The goal of living is also clear, and we will follow rules, self-control, and discipline within the boundaries of our principles. This is our Laxman Rekha, which we must never cross. Through the knowledge and study given by the Supreme Soul, we should emerge the 8 powers within us, and then we will cut off these 10 heads, end this body consciousness, and only then will we truly celebrate Dussehra in our lives. Among the festivals, first comes Navratri, then Ravana is destroyed, and only after that does Diwali arrive. Wishing you all a very happy Dussehra.